It feels like that started a certain spark of curiosity that still lasts.
Matej and I have seen how you can take something and in 3 months just like create these results that most people can't.
The reality is that almost everyone can actually use it. There is this spark somewhere, this great potential.
No, but there was a moment when Sony...
Reality is that everything is so saturated.
We are a digital marketing agency specializing in tailor-made solutions, bespoke solutions for clients, corporate clients mainly. But we worry about things that, most people worry about at the end of the day, and where marketing is going. And today, Andrei is our specialist in performance marketing, and this is what we're going to be discussing today because it's a huge field.
I remember I met Paul years ago, and I woke up like 4:30 to start in Ljubljana, and then many times I crashed over at your place. We were going out, dancing salsa, and I woke up at 4:30 and I was ready, coffee and went, and I was awake. And your day started like usual, like now, Couldn't get it, And now I tried a couple of times to wake that hour. My mind just doesn't work anymore. It's just like looking at a different person.
Yeah.
Right. Changing.
My neighbor, Tomasz, he just retired just now. And these last few months, and he said no matter what, he has to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock because that's what he does. For 40 years.
When I resigned, I just continued doing things the same way that I did before. I thought, but do I really like that? It's really working for me, or should I change? Then I thought, but I can change. I can try. Maybe it's a different way works better for me. And change is the reason why I started to like marketing, because it's about change. Technology just kicked in because I somehow understood it from my engineer background. But marketing I liked simply just because it should be about change.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of change along the way. It's constant change. Seems like, and what you feel about technology is you don't really understand it completely, but you can feel it have impact on daily life as it progresses. So also for marketing, technology seems like it's very similar. You can just feel the effect of the changes in the technology.
Well, I think you have to love the change. Otherwise, it becomes difficult. Sooner or later, you begin to burn out if you don't love the change.
Yeah.
And you know that's a very old joke saying, the only permanent feature here in the universe is
Change.
Impermanence. So what are you going to do, right? So,
Yeah. And what was, for me, change, combining with technology, somehow I got it, was the reason why I fell into this digital reality.
Well, do you mind if I just quickly do like a quick intro?
Why not?
Like, Matej, Andrei, Paul, just so people get an idea why the hell we're sitting here. So, the idea is to discuss specifically today performance marketing. We're a bespoke digital marketing agency. We provide tailor-made solutions. We're basically a consulting company more than anything else, but we can provide a lot of other services, almost a complete solution if necessary. We have 11 different departments, we're specialists, and Andrei Volchanchek then specializes in performance marketing amongst other things. Amongst other things. But maybe you can just say like a few words, because even I don't know. How long have you been doing this?
I think I've been doing this since 2005, so it's going to be 20 years Yeah, if I count the first year that I started working in online business as a part of this experience, it should be 20 years now. It seems like a very, very, very long time, and a lot of change has happened in this period, and it's been a blessing, this sort of, to experience this.
Was it mainly performance marketing, or did you start elsewhere?
My professional work, I was still a student when I started working, and I did work in retail at the beginning for maybe a year or two. Electronics, that was my first job ever, and I was an electronics sales guy. That lasted for 2 years. Then, when we got the internet and things like that, then I found a job offering on the internet. And I said, oh, look, very interesting. And it was for measurable, the online retailer from my hometown. And I didn't know the guys. I just saw that the job offering on the internet, and I took it. And that's when I started to work on this major retail startup, online e-commerce startup. And
So that was marketing already,
marketing already.
from the very beginning, yeah?
Very beginning. I think it feels like that started a certain spark of curiosity that still lasts to this day. Especially the part when I experienced how rapidly that thing was developing, how immediately it was beginning to grow, and how sustained growth looks like, and it just got me very curious. How does that work?
But Matej and I have seen how you can take something and in 3 months just like create these results that most people can't. What we call performance marketing. But why? Why performance marketing? Because marketing is such a huge area.
It's a very huge concept, marketing as such, and I think digital has transformed marketing very much. And it's a good question, why performance marketing? My best answer would be, why not? It makes a lot of sense, because at the beginning it a little bit forces you to really focus on a lot of detail and think about the key stuff for each client that you work with, or project that you try to make work in the digital world. You gotta think about the key stuff and how to align these key components in order to work, because no single component on its own can never work as good as if you align these things. So that's the best thing about thinking about performance marketing, I believe, for me personally, is this aligning all the relevant components, not just marketing, messaging and advertising, whatever. Everything about a business aligned to perform to a certain goal.
And of course, the team working together.
The team, absolutely included, and the clarity of goals, the clarity of what's possible, what we think it's possible. Discussions about that, very deep dive with the client.
So you guys actually, communicate a lot more than you and I do, Not if we don't communicate, but maybe Matej, because you didn't start off with marketing, but you can say a few words about yourself.
No, but I'm curious, we were before trying to understand when we actually started to work together, quite a couple of years, but we never had the opportunity to actually talk about, either you now, maybe some people for whom this digital became cool, popular, just plan it. But I think in the past it was different, yeah. It was not so popular then. It was not here.
Yeah.
But how it started for you? Did you plan it? It's like
no, it just caught me by surprise. I believe this experience, the early experience, when I saw rapid growth in practice and what it brings, and I saw a reality check of the rapid growth and what it means, how much pressure is this on working people and so on, and technology is going around, so much is going around. It's a very early experience, and I saw that this thing makes a lot of sense just when you think about it, the way you said it, you know, it wasn't really a very popular. People are a little bit skeptical about this digital thing in the early 2000s. It was, you know, okay, it looks like this, you know, upgrade of a typewriter, you know, the computer thing, you know, the thing. Maybe there's some. Everybody was talking about huge potential, but it felt like something, you know, not for everybody. So it looks like it takes some sort of a type of a person to feel this, let's say 10 years in advance. I think we've all been there. We had this moment, this spark moment that still drives us to this day, actually.
But that spark moment, yeah. I'm curious about this one, yeah. Because usually when we find the problem and we have enough motivation to solve it, and we actually solve it, then we become curious, yeah, and go deeper. Right. So how it started for you? You know, maybe a campaign or something you did that you thought,
yeah, I got my hands dirty very soon in the game. I wanted to know everybody right from the beginning. I wanted to know how stuff works, and my first experience was I broke something, and it had a lot of effect, and that was when I realized that what digital actually means. Small steps that have a lot of potentially effect. My first, let's say, larger than it felt than more like larger than life campaign that I managed for the client later on in an agency that I worked with I think it was for Slovenian tourist organization. And immediately I was just put into it, and I suddenly realized, oh, what I do here has impact all around European Union. I'm just talking, I'm just writing stuff and sending it out to almost 200 million people in EU, and there's this massive substantial budget that I'm responsible for. I think it was a couple of nights of lost sleep before I realized that I can actually handle this.
If I may, Paul, you know, because we are having a chat with Paul, different topics. We are using an analogy of like a knife here. Yeah. Digital can be like, has two very radical sides. Yeah, it can be like dangerous weapon or something beautiful. Yeah. And I know that I felt when I started, I didn't plan this. Yeah, my career was before something totally different, and when I first saw the potential, what kind of a leverage this gives you, yeah, I felt, ooh, that's dangerous, yeah, but exciting if you manage to accept the responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah, I think responsibility.
How did you feel then, and how you feel now? Yeah, about this.
I mean, then it was 20 years ago as a young man, and I felt like, wow, let's do this. Yes. To me, it was exciting. Then and now. Now, the more I do persist in this field, it feels more like, oh, I can really help a lot of people. That's the bottom line experience. That it feels like I can offer a lot of service, a lot of assistance to people that probably need it. So yeah, but the beginning, when you're 20 something, it's like, okay, I'll just jump into this and see what happens.
But responsibility, that's for our team, that's a key word, right?
Right.
I'm not trying to say that we always manage to see every little detail, but we're trying to. But from your background, how did you, because unless the responsibility was there in the team, you wouldn't be doing this either, would you?
No, I was actually, again, I never planned this, yeah. Somehow it was just, it happened, yeah. But it's as we said, double-edged sword, yeah. I think, whoever understands how this tool works, the reality is that almost everyone can actually use it, yeah. That's the reality, yeah. Whoever, like 10 years old little child can go and start playing with it.
And some of them are doing it, right?
It's very natural to them, the kids today.
But is this okay? I don't know, yeah. I think it's similar, personally, I think like technology, like if there is a regulation for drugs and alcohol that young kids, there's a age after certain you can, buy it or it can be sold to children, yeah. I think especially for children, there should be regulation, yeah.
But do you feel that a lot of people who are in this and providing, a high-end digital marketing service are asking themselves, is this campaign okay?
I think many not, yeah. I think that there should be some kind of ethics, how things are done. That's why, I was talking about the users, yeah. If we are talking about those who are delivering the messages, yeah, doing the campaigns, I think there should be certain standards, not just, you go to Facebook, open an account and start advertising. Somebody gives you a credit card and you start. It's too easy because it's simply like, offering to everyone, access to the button of the bomb, yeah. It's not like a bomb, but it's, I think we should be more careful how we are using this technology because it can be beautiful, yeah, or not.
It's like this bottle of wine, a glass of it probably healthy.
Shall we open this? Yeah.
But
Slovensko vino.
2 bottles of
Slovene.
all at once is probably not a good idea. But yeah, responsibility. What this actually means maybe is that this cloak of technology, this wall of internet between me and you, me maybe as an advertiser, you maybe as a consumer. It's not really there. We're very much directly in contact. There's just this medium in between us, and of course, what I look has impact on your life, and vice versa. And this is a very important thing. So, I remember very well one sentence in one of these teams that I worked with. There was this developer, very talented guy, Gaspar Miss. A nice guy, a really nice guy. We did a lot of work together. We did a lot of great stuff. And then I remember once we had one random chat, like in break time. And then all of a sudden we were talking this technical stuff, and yes, please, maybe one. We were talking this technical stuff and how always this combination of technical stuff and marketing stuff, the influence stuff, the whatever stuff. It's always a combination. We're talking about this complex thing, and then all of a sudden he said, "Hey, Andrei, did you think about how does this thing that we're discussing now, how does it make the world a little bit better?" I just said, "Well, I remember I was thinking, is he kind of testing me, or is he thinking about something bigger than this? Was he just kind of trying to be funny or whatever?" But I remember going back to this question a lot of times. So it's a very important thing that you realize that these things are potential and powerful.
So, because we're focusing performance marketing.
Yes.
There's so much of this stuff out there. So performance marketing, that, you know, high-end profit and
You're right.
turnover, do it now, you know, we want to see results in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And responsibility, how to bring those together.
Right. The best way is right off the bat. Like the first thing you do is to tell them, you interview your clients, you brief them. There's a briefing period. There's maybe even a testing period where they test the client a little bit and they test us, and we see. And the first thing off the bat is set expectations and be honest about that. Here is what you're going to be faced with. There may be very, very nice niches out there that work really marvelous, and you can do a lot of good work with them, and it looks like it's an easy ride. It kind of works. But there may be niches that are complicated and difficult and competitive and so on, and it's a different ball game. And you have to take these things in account and be honest with the client right off the bat. Tell them the bad news first, and then how far the potential goes if everything goes well. So it's kind of tight cooperation with your client when you do performance marketing. That's the core of it.
I was, you know, just thinking if this tight cooperation, this preparation, this netting, if we should make a party, like a ceremony out of it and with our clients, because the way we do
that would actually
the way we do things is slightly different.
Right.
But let's say we went further out and made a ceremony out of this, because I'm looking at this wine, and I'm thinking that marketing in its own way has been around for a long time, and maybe it was much more powerful in the old days, because in the Orient and in the East, they used wine and they spiked it to have visions, to have to tell the future, and they would use this for a week or two, and then come to a climax to deal with that change and go into the new era or make that change. And we're talking about marketing is all about change, right? And how to have that alternative out of the box concept, idea, product. And this is what
the box.
and this is what they were doing. They were looking out of everyday life by using, and this wine is quite interesting because it's an old sort, Reforsk, and in the old days it was one of those varieties that was used for healing.
Yeah.
Or for spiking. So
Yeah, it's a good analogy. You know, killing and spiking, and it brings us, you know, sort of back to this idea that a glass of wine can probably help you out, but 2 bottles of wine probably lasts more. So you have this spiking and helping, and the main thing here, if you think about digital performance marketing in this context, the main thing here is you gotta be real with your client. You gotta give them the absolute best right off the bat, right at the beginning of the story, and maybe it's a sort of a shamanic experience almost. When you see that spark, that there is this spark somewhere, that this great potential, be it a service, an industry, a very special product or something like that, maybe, or a very good idea that somebody has, and you immediately see this spark. Hey, if we join forces here on this, I can make this work online, or we as an experienced digital marketing people, we can make this work online so much better than you can do this on your own.
Did you are you familiar with the Temple of Ulysses?
Yes.
Athens, Greece, yeah.
Right.
These ceremonies culminated in this temple, and they went on for a long time, way before Jesus. And before that, it was a ceremony that was carried out in India and Persia.
Right.
So you're very right. It is similar to shamanic.
Yeah.
And that spark. And they actually invited people to the ceremonies, regardless of class structure or royalty or slave. If they had the spark, they were interested in being out of the box in that vision. Right? So it comes back to
class. I think that was one of the effects. One of the effects of the internet. It gave opportunity. I remember very well. It gave opportunity in the beginning years. Yeah, gave opportunity to people that would otherwise probably remain somewhere in the shadows of this business world or whatever, and they were just so savvy, tech savvy, or smart that they could see immediately. I'm not talking just about the big names, the Steve Jobs of the world, but there are a lot of very smart people, or very talented people, or very inspired people.
you never hear of them, right?
Yeah, you don't really know that they're behind a lot of stuff that's going on online. And it's really, it serves a lot of people. It helps the cause. It happened a bit more in the early 2000s. Later on, feels like it's more like the corporate level caught up with the potentials of online.
Well, there was a moment, I don't want to go into this now, but there was a moment when Sony and was it WEA in America, and 3 or 4 companies got together,
Right.
and they literally sold up online digital with banking solutions 2012, around that time, and after that it was closed shop. You understand closed shop? It was just closed shop after that. That's it. It was done.
Productize and monetize the internet. That's one of the
Reality is that everything is so saturated that what you said before, that being true, always seeking the truth, being truthful to yourself, and in that case, your colleagues, partners, clients, to be truthful, and say things as they are. I think that's something very valuable nowadays, because it's everything up in the area, and especially because everything is completely saturated, And I remember when Facebook was something that nobody thought, to use for advertising, I remember, when we did campaigns and the ad was just there, wherever I went, whichever profile, everyone could see it, because people didn't migrate there, didn't abuse the technology so far, And what do you think about this saturation?
Sure.
How can we nowadays, in this interesting world with many possibilities but also challenges, how to stand out?
Yeah, I think
How to be
this
different.
situation, you're right about situation. I mean, it is saturated, and a good analogy during the days of Facebook. I remember working 2008, working at an agency, maybe with some similar campaign or something like that. I remember my friend, one of my best friends, just invited me to Facebook. I just got an email from my friend. Oh, Blaz is inviting you to Facebook, and that was 2008 or maybe 1 year before, and I was okay, what's this? And because he sent it to me, I said, okay, what is this? And I got an account, and I opened an account, and then I very well remember my first post on the wall, and I said, now what? and that remained for 2 years. And I had a Facebook account for 2 years, and I didn't realize it was a thing back then. And then just all of a sudden it exploded. And this saturation that you were talking about, this massive everything, everybody seeking for attention situation, which is how I see this situation. Businesses and people and personas and influencers and everything stacked up on this. Now, in the back days, it was this, big television monitor
Box.
Big box, we have glasses because watching at the television like 10 centimeters. But now,
Terrible screens.
Radiation, I believe that thing, I don't know, maybe but nowadays it's all packed in this saturated little size of kind of a palm thing, monitor thing, telephone. And this saturation, actually, I believe, gives another opportunity for new kind of sparks out there, for something new for people to figure out and use it for the better of hopefully everybody.
Well, I see that, you know, when I was observing the younger ones, you know, the 12 to 19,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not happening there, and if they're not part of that, it's almost like they feel they don't exist, they're not accepted, emotionally unable to survive in this society if they don't feel part of a community inside that inside that box, you know. So where's this? I mean, you know, you've seen a large, you know, you've seen watching this for many years. This living inside, you know, more and more inside this formula. Where is this going? If marketing continues this way.
It sounds like you care about the effect on how people feel about technology.
How? But me personally, I care about how they feel about themselves. Number one,
Yes.
and then everything else, of course.
The
After that.
impact on technology and what it does software, what it does to people.
Well, I think a lot of the time people are not asking how they feel about themselves. So how can they ask themselves how they feel about their brother or sister or about technology?
Maybe the best way to answer this is through the lens of, let's say, a business. Yeah. So we have this business that tries to utilize these tools to get the maximum effects possible for the whatever it is they're doing, selling. Obviously, businesses need to generate revenues, and they use the internet and they use digital marketing increasingly so to achieve this effect. Now, on the other side, you know that these people, the recipients of this communication, they're not subjected to the effects of what us marketing people think and use in tools, but they're also subjected to the effects of pure software that is running the whole machine. It's important for brands. It's important for people to think about these positive effects, or positive in the sense of very tangible effects on people that both marketing and technology can have. And the relationship with that would probably be a distinction between long-term successful brands and maybe brands that are just piggybacking on this new phenomena and trying to extract as much as possible out. But it becomes obvious sooner or later. There's no hiding. I mean, we talked about maybe feeling the technology. You don't understand software, how it works, but you can feel that there's something out there. For instance, do you remember when Facebook notifications just got so annoying that you probably just turned off your phone at night? That was software, software testing, the whole global scope, and this thing there. So
I remember when Apple, not so many years ago, Apple went offline completely for about 2.5 hours or something, or maybe more. And and for them to go down, and so what was going on there,
Yeah, so these are, I mean, of course, very important to talk even when you do performance marketing situations when the client is really pushing you. You have to have these KPIs in front of you all the time. You have to steer the client's boat around to actually do this business the way they're supposed to do. But of course, you understand and you can feel the impact of the values that you or the client or the entire ecosystem has or doesn't have. And there are some ethical questions always present in this.
Ecosystem.
Right.
How many people do you think are aware that the electrical impulses that make all this possible are actually far more vibrant and present in a plant than they are in us?
I mean, people are aware of all sorts of things in a different way.
Nice, I like that. In different ways.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because that brings us back again to performance marketing.
Yes, it can be.
But I'm still curious, yeah, how to be different in this saturated
Right.
because that's something that with Volga sometimes.
You sound like a client.
Yeah.
Right?
Zdravie, cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Oh, yeah. How they stand out in this? One way would be to bring a glass of wine to do the first meeting with the client. It's like,
We should start doing that.
Maybe something, I don't know. Maybe I did, yeah. Please.
I mean, it's a great. I mean, it'll certainly make our vetting procedure, shorter. If they go with the flow, we know we have synergy. You don't have to go through all that process. The 4 or 5.
no, seriously.
There is a quote, I don't know if you created it or it actually already existed, yeah, for me, about the wine, yeah. Because I think all of us in business, yeah, we are seeking perfection, but perfection is, I think, in our reality quite illusion. Even with a digital one, yeah, or with all the KPIs, it's sooner or later you come to the point where it's difficult to go deeper, yeah.
Stand out a little bit.
But do you remember that one that you shared with me years ago? That quote about perfection and wine, and how this can help me to
It
go.
was.
Yeah.
Sorry. It wasn't about drinking in the evenings and loosening the muscles between the neurons. No?
Progress before perfection, and perfection with a glass of
All right.
red
Yes.
wine. Yeah.
Yes. But it all comes back to the fact that red wine is proven to loosen the muscles that connect the neurons. So it allows visions and out-of-the-box thinking, because we get ourselves, by focusing the mind, we get ourselves, as much as we get things done and become very efficient, we also create mini models, mini concepts that we get stuck to, paradigms, and this is where red wine can help and open up again. But sorry, yes, I remember it now, but I don't think any of these quotes belong to me. I think they all come from somewhere. Probably Persia or India or somewhere, or Amazon,
It's a very good chance you got it online.
Yes. Here to online, yes.
So standing out, everybody tries to stand out. I think what works here is, this is one of the side effects of this situation. We would probably not think about what makes us unique so much, or if there wasn't this situation. I think this is one of the effects. Everybody's thinking about what's our unique approach here, and also in the hardcore world of almost cutthroat digital marketing competition. The one thing that helps people get out of this, of any sort of deadlock, is this curiosity about themselves. And we have to, as a digital marketing agency, you have to reflect all the time, what makes us a little bit different. And you find your niches that can be very micro niches out there, and comparing yourself to everything else. And find those niches, and it feels like those are the part of this original spark that can lead you in a certain direction. So this is a little bit philosophical around the corner answer, but I think it's true about this situation. It's also the effect that it has on everybody, even us that work in this situation is constant information.
You just said philosophical around it, but isn't marketing itself, especially performance marketing, ultimately philosophizing masses into a way of behavior?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. And you're using very high-tech tools to to achieve your goals, and you're competing with a lot of people that are trying to do almost the same thing, but everybody a little bit in their own nuance. So we're guilty. We're part of the machine, actually.
So now we're back again, and I think you'll probably have to wrap it up really shortly. But we're back again to so then, if this is the case, why are we in this performance marketing?
Right.
I mean, how would you honestly answer the question for yourself? Because
Yeah.
just so that people understand, with our 11 different departments, we can focus on email, we can focus on any of the channels, Google or Instagram, or we can do SEO, or we can do so many different things, right? Native marketing. But at the center of all of this for us, usually it comes back to performance marketing when the things really need to stand out, really need to get done. So where are we going? Where are we going in this performance marketing? Because we're not going to stop, right? The three of us.
No. I think it's about curiosity, really. It's what drives progress. This curiosity type. We have all these different tools available, and the main question, if you say why performance marketing, the main question is how can I best use all of these to enhance my client's position on the market? And when you start asking yourself this question, you immediately open up the thought process that gives you a vision, that gives you a goal that you can share with your clients, and you say, okay, we can come this far with this product, and maybe even further. If you don't do that, if you just try to be specialized, very tightly specialized in, let's say, in email marketing, in SEO, in copywriting, in working with the influencers, maybe, or if you just want this one thing, you never get a chance to really enjoy the benefits of putting all this together and trying to drive into a certain direction. So it's goal oriented, but with goals, it's always when you reach the goal, what then? So
new goal,
yeah, and it's a sort of curiosity that keeps on making sure that we go on. And at the end of the day, I'm really glad we didn't talk too much technical here. But it's really, at the end of the day, in this kind of setting.
But what is technical? Because we're coming, we don't have that much time. But what is technical for you when it comes to performance marketing? When you sit down and you have to make that campaign work for our clients, what is technical for you?
It's everything except what I can talk about with the client.
So this is why you see all that time spent on clients, relationship management. God.
Yeah, I think it's crucial. Yeah. I think it's crucial, especially the understanding
and the synergy, and the synergy, and similar values, and before aligned expectations. It's difficult, no?
And also, I would say, a mutually understood possibility. Like, we both understand that is this possibility. You have this great business, and we have this experience with similar businesses or from other niches, and we know that this is a huge opportunity. And if you do our job well, both of us or everybody, actually, we're gonna get there. And this I think is performance marketing, digital or even from before digital.
Yeah.
But from ancient times, probably from the temple of Artemis was that one.
Yeah, even before that, if you want.
Even before. Stone Age. Time immemorial.
When you talk about opportunities,
Yes.
Let's be technical,
Technical.
What opportunities that
I couldn't wait to get technical.
that opportunities, let's say in this our performance marketing world that you see in the near future, what would be advice for somebody just starting, to say, that there's like sea of options, what can you do, but you can't do everything. You can go just one step after another, and slowly you can include others and delegate and include agency maybe. Yeah. But what would be your advice for somebody just starting like a new brand from whichever niche?
You mean technical or general advice?
Whatever you think is more valuable, yeah. Of course, from the performance digital marketing, yeah. What do you think would be more, valuable to focus on?
The most important thing to focus on when you're just some person like that you describe, is find someone that is able to listen to you, to your story. What is it that you're all about? To get into the matter that you work with, to understand it, and then apply the best possible technical solution for your case. I think that's make it or break it situation.
Yeah, maybe we can pick up on that point, and the next time we get together, maybe we can talk about the essence, the storytelling.
The storytelling, yeah, it's very important.
It all starts with that, doesn't it? Because everyone's got a story, right? Each product, each idea, each concept, every company, every person who started a company. Matej's got wonderful stories from how he got going there. You've got wonderful stories. What makes that brand? Huh?
But I still want to talk about technical stuff.
But yeah, if we talk about technology, let's use this terminology.
Yeah, like ad systems.
What, for example, we know what were the challenges in the past, and we overcame them. We found a way forward. But what are the challenges right now?
Mm-hmm.
And what are opportunities in the future? Because usually all the challenges somehow can be translated into opportunities. Yeah, depends how you look at something. Yeah.
Right now, the biggest challenge, I believe, is what to do with AI in digital marketing. Should we just let it replace everything, or be a very useful tool? Before that, the big question was how technical. Maybe question was how to make things as simple as possible for the clients when it comes to technology. The digital marketing in general, you can break it into 3 parts basically. Yeah, the messaging, the technology, and let's say something like targeting, all of that. And this technology part was just too complicated for a lot of people to actually utilize.
For most people.
For most people, actually. It's just too complicated. Yes. So I remember very well Google tried with the Google Ads, try to on several times, try to make this, out of the box solution. Like you give us a credit card or your website and it will work. It never worked. Too complicated. That's the flip side of this. Yeah. So technology was kind of a complexity of technology was always a barrier for people to overcome. That's why you see people have much better results if they have technical knowledge. If they can code, it's still present. Yeah, it's like in the old days, people who could print books or write. The difference between them and those who can't. Nowadays, up till 2024, which we are now, it was, can you code or not, or can you at least understand how this works? And that was the opportunity, I believe, until now. Right now, what's AI going to be? The impact of AI, is it going to be helpful more? Is it going to help more people know how to use all this digital stuff? Or is it going to be something else? So that's, and for us as entrepreneurs, as people who want to do business, the main question is how can we learn as quick as possible everything about the utility of all this and offer it to people who don't have time and maybe energy or don't want to think about all of that complexity, and how to offer that to the market actually to enhance products in digital world. Now that was a lot of fast talking now.
This opens up a new vast subject. AI is replacing. It's not a fact that it's going to. It is replacing. If you travel the world and you see what's happening, one factory, another factory, another factory. We're not. This is Slovenia. It's a small country, or even England is small compared to Brazil or India. Thousands, 10,000 here, 20,000 there, 2,000 there, out. Machines in. Automated. Automation, AI is happening. People. So this is happening. People are being replaced with AI. The question here is, what will we do with this humanity, and where will they fit in this performance marketing?
This is a very important question. To us, digital marketing people, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the greatest stuff in the universe. But in reality, you know, at the end of the day, everything comes around. So, what will happen? Nobody knows. But what skill set does a business need right now to do at least as good as everybody else? New skills are needed, and we've been through this cycle a couple of times. You've been in digital marketing. You know how important it was to actually understand and be tech savvy or tool savvy, or if you could set up Google Analytics in 2008 to track. If you could do that, to track clients' performance, e-commerce performance, or something like that, it was an asset. Nowadays, there is some automation going on. There's this AI, and I don't know what's going to happen with this AI thing. Maybe.
Well, I think you're right. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think that the process is quite clear. It's all about, from here on, how useful. Maybe it will be like that. How useful is a resource? How useful is something? So, if humanity or certain parts of the humanity or AI or something else, if it's useful to those who want to employ it, it will go ahead. It will be put into some sort of operation. So humanity, if human beings who are not going to be useful, I think they will be made use of in other ways.
Yeah, that's a deep ethical question. But when you say useful, how is it? I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like that, that original Facebook post from 2000. I don't know what now. What's this all about? And we found a certain use for all of that. I think there's gonna be use cases. There are use cases right now. AI helps, for instance, AI is helping a lot of people be better prepared,
live longer, even that,
in work field. A lot of people are. It's very similar to the days when the internet came out, and some people just found a way how to use this for business. Those people, those little Steve Jobs out there, and it's very similar with AI, for now. But what's the potential? Will it kill us all?
I'm with you, Andrei. I also see a light at the end of the tunnel. I do, but the process, I think, some people realize what we're going through, and some people don't realize what we're going through. And performance marketing has a lot to do with it in today's reality.
Yeah, we're guilty.
Yes.
Leverage that we have in our hands, the impact that we can achieve to go after more and more. I think that all of us, that we are working actually together as a team, trying to do things in a meaningful way. I think I can say that all of us believe that, less is more, being specific, not too broad. That's a interesting way to go forward. Not to burn out. As a personality or as a business. It's good to do things.
I think finding your niche, it is the normal situation when you find your niche and you do exploit it really as much as you can. So what we're talking about here is aligning again, aligning with this crowded situation. Everybody trying to message something, and of course, our clients wants to stand out, and it's getting increasingly difficult to do so. Actually, and
It is.
and for our clients and for you and me and everybody, it's about finding your little niche out there and try to see where does it take you if you're really curious about where it can take you. Yeah, that's philosophically looking. That's why a very good insight into a lot of thought process that you have to go through when you do digital performance marketing. You find your client that tiny little niche that they can thrive in, and technology is helping you a lot with that. So you can know what's going on with the campaigns, with the sales, and you find that niche and you expand on it as much as you can. That wasn't possible in such a short time before digital marketing. Yeah, but again, it's getting more difficult as we go because the saturation is a big problem. And there's also another thing. There's greed.
And there's also
there is greediness.
there's also speed, velocity of how things are happening.
Yeah.
You go to Brazil, you go to a few other countries,
Right.
and you see how fast they're moving with. It's crazy, isn't it?
True. Yeah.
I mean, the industry we're in moves fast anyway.
Yeah.
But then
you can predict what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think a drink is in order to rather than predicting, and looking forward to seeing you both tomorrow again.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Sorry.